Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am making a video dedicated to my favorite plant, which is kind of hard to say, but at the same time, willow is your plant's favorite plant. I've always loved it. I mean, who doesn't? It's very just ethereal, and The Wind in the Willows is my favorite book. So I've always loved it. We moved to this property and there's sort of a wetland border behind me and around this way, and there's willow growing all along it. And that's when I really fell in love with it. I started researching all of the uses for willow. I talked to a willow grower. They have a willow farm, which was really cool to see. I ended up going there, and anyway, they had recommended some varieties that would grow well because the ones in England obviously aren't going to like this climate. And I took a course, and then I went to a workshop to actually make some willow garden structures. This area has been very neglected. The cutting garden has really been my focus, and I need to tidy this up. So I'm gonna cut to a clip that I took earlier in the season when things were a bit tidier, to really show the willow that I have planted here, because it is a bit overgrown. And I'm going to put some cuttings on this side of the garden so that there will sort of be like a willow lined walkway. So this was my first big garden space, and my dream was to have a jewel garden. I'm obsessed with Monty Don. I love his jewel garden. For those who don't know, the plants are very rich and dark and obviously jewel toned and almost kind of tropical. I had elephant ears and these dark canna lilies. They're like this blackened red. And there was Joe Pyeweed all in the back here, so sort of a dusty rose. And then I had bought all these dark lilies and lime green gladiolas. I pretty much immediately hated it. The main permanent thing are my willow cuttings. So all along this walkway are willow cuttings. I believe these are green dicks. You know, all of the things that I'm growing now are sort of in a garden context. So I thought I would treat it sort of like a lavender hedge along a walkway, with the intention of cutting it back each year. And this being its second season, it's definitely putting on a lot more growth. This is an area where I'm going to do some work. I took a bunch of cuttings of our native willow during the winter when it was dormant, and intend to kind of extend this walkway with some more cuttings and see if our native willow will behave the same way. This is a large hollyhock on the other side of the garden, and these are all willow cuttings. These ones are pretty resilient because I'm going to be honest, I really neglected the edge on this, the border on this, but many of them have survived and look pretty decent. Some of them may get swallowed, but I'm loving it. I'm really excited to see how it all comes together when I have the dark lilies and the coral bells, and this is a dark hollyhock. It almost could be jewel garden-esque, but with different plant material. The last time I watched Harry Potter, I was like, oh my god, the Whomping Willow is pollarded. Anyways, in my fridge, I have had this bag of cuttings since the winter. I'm so scared to open this because it's now August, which is not recommended for when you should plant willow cuttings. But the thing that I love so much about willow is it's just so giving. It just wants to grow so much and it wants to work for you. And I love plants like that. You can probably tell from my previous videos, plants that produce seeds, seed themselves, like that can be divided. I just love like pouring my energy into those kind of plants. I don't know what will have survived from what I took in the winter because I haven't even looked at this. It's in brown paper bag, so light isn't getting in, and this is a mix of cuttings, some that I've taken of native willow along the border. So unfortunately a lot of these did get kind of moldy, like they're going bad, but if you look how crazy that is. It has a sprout even though it's like looks really bad. This one has a pretty decent sprout. So you plant them, obviously you want to make sure it's growing upright and you don't plant it like this, but this will be easy because they want to grow even in a bag. I am going to cut back if I see this kind of black at the top, where it's definitely dyed back, and I see a little bit of brown on this node, so I'm just going to cut to the next node. And that is how you take the cuttings. They should be about a Sharpie size, and then you want to have a few nodes that will be below the soil and a few nodes that will be above the soil. The thing that sucks is when they get knocked like that, because that won't grow. These all look good enough to try, and there's definitely a mix in here of the ones that I had ordered that are weaving varieties, some native ones, the curly willow. I just love the colors of willow too, sort of like the purpley green, and I tried to dye wool with willow when I was harvesting for these cuttings, and it really wasn't successful, which is too bad because that would be my dream, to like have sheep and dye the yarn with willow. I'm interested in natural dyes. I am going to clean these all up a bit, where I cut the bottoms at an angle so that I would know which way to plant it. So I'm going to cut anything that looks dead, you know, kind of take it up a node on both sides probably. As I feel like I always say, this is an experiment. I always have to brace myself for a complete failure. Willow is a really easy thing to identify once you know what to look for, and it's easy to forage. So you can definitely make your own cuttings going somewhere that's, you know, wet and reedy. I'm going to plant them sort of offset in a zigzag pattern because likely not all of them will make it. That was the case over here, and as the plants fill out and I coppice them back, it will be less visible within the hedge if they're offset and a few go missing. It is the second week of August, and the weather has definitely changed a bit. It's quite cooler and it's very wet, so maybe that will be good to plant the willow in these conditions. It's been very hard for me to find a time to do this that's not literally raining. I'm so grateful that the job that I have now, I don't lose work to weather issues. Like, I can work whenever, because when I worked as a gardener, it was really tough. It would be really tough during a rainy season like this to just get hours. I'm planting them about a knife's worth apart. A little more than that. A knife's worth and a little bit. Essentially what you do is you stick the pointy end into the soil with a few nodes above and a few nodes below. Sometimes the soil is a bit hard, a knife can help if the soil is a bit too hard to push it in. The soil here is pretty bad, to be honest. It's wet, but it is pretty bad. But the willow is very hardy. It's been a few weeks, as clear by my long sleeves, and I actually feel like I could put a sweatshirt on right now. It really feels like the end of summer, feels like fall is coming. Honestly, I'm so excited. I'm so kind of feeling this sigh of relief that summer is over. It's been really busy. Clearly it's been busy because I am spreading mulch in this garden, mulch that's been sitting in our tractor cart for months, that I bought for my zinnias and meant to spread down here long ago. But I wanted to thank you so much for watching this video documenting my love of willow and what I have been doing to have more of it. I hope to have more willow content, probably not for a while because it's kind of one of those slow and steadies. Sometimes I have a plan, I don't have a plan at the moment, but something fall content related is definitely coming. Fall is my favorite time of year, so I will see you then, if not sooner. You could follow me on Instagram or TikTok or something, it's all the same username, and I'll put it down below. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.